You are Locked On Heat Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Heat fans? Welcome to another episode of your Locked On Heat Postcast. Heat Postcast, Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. And you know the deal with the Postcast. We are here live right after every game as soon as the final horn goes off to bring you the ups, the downs, the ins and outs, and mostly downs tonight, especially talking about the end result and the fourth quarter for the Miami Heat, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Man, they were literally, now 0-13 when allowing more than 130 points. But Miami could have been 2 games over 500. Miami could have gone and moved to 16-6 against teams with records under 500. The Miami Heat with the Chicago Bulls on the road in Chicago tonight without Zach LaVine, who was just traded to the Sacramento Kings. I almost said Sack Tomato. Growing up listening to the Steve Summers here, you there on the Fan New York City. But no, man, unbelievable. 133-124 the final tonight. Miami outscored by 18 points in the fourth quarter, 39-21. I'm amazed they even got 21. They went over 4 minutes without a field goal in the fourth. The third, it was up and down, streaky on both sides. But in the fourth quarter, when it mattered the most, your Miami Heat laid some eggs, man. Tyler went cold again, got locked down again. Hey, now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Do something in the fourth quarter. Hey, now, you're a rock star. Do something when you're the guy who's supposed to be scoring because you're the only guy left who wants to be the all-star and take the big shots. And, yeah, you got to make it happen, Tyler. I love Tyler Hero. I love him, right? Who doesn't love Tyler? He's a great dude, really good player. He's an all-star. You know what? And he made the all-star team. You give him credit for that. Good job, Tyler. But when your team needs you and the game's on the line in the fourth quarter and you're just consistently game in and game out, it's been not getting it done. And thank goodness Bam was hot in the fourth tonight and made some shots. Otherwise, I don't know what in the world would have happened. But they're still tinkering. They're still kind of messing around with lineups. Spose, putting a genius cap on, trying to make things happen with no Jimmy Butler. And, yeah, the offers coming back for Jimmy are bad right now because Jimmy painted them into a corner. This petulant little child, Jimmy Butler, paints the Miami Heat and Pat Riley into a corner to where everybody knows that they just need to dump him and get rid of him. But here's the best thing about it, okay? The Miami Heat do not have to trade Jimmy Butler before the February 6th deadline. Happy birthday, Mom, by the way, early, February 6th. They don't have to trade him. I would love it if they would just sit him. Don't suspend him. Hey, the Players Union can't say anything if you just sit him. Don't play him. DNP, coach's decision. DNP, coach's decision. DNP, coach's decision. Let him sit on that damn bench and rot for the rest of the year. I would love that more than anything. And you know how many executives and how many owners and how many people in the front offices would love that. Look, you can say I'm an old head. You can talk whatever you want. But when you make a damn commitment, Gen Z and Gen A, when you make a commitment, millennials, when you make a commitment, you stick to it. You stick to it. When you sign a contract and you're making tens of millions of dollars a year to play a game we all loved as kids and would give anything to have played professionally, you show up. You honor your word, your commitment, and your loyalty to an organization that's paying you tens of millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? This is your Heat Postcast. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today is your Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's about time to let you know that your Heat Postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Super Bowl 59. 6 years older than me, the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 59 is here, and there's no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. New customers can bet just $5, and if you win, you'll get this shining fiddle made of gold. But if you lose, FanDuel gets your soul. No, I'm just kidding. If you win with that $5 bet, you'll score $200 in bonus bets. Download the app or head to FanDuel.com to get started right now. Hey, your tomorrow. And I want to let you know also, and of course I talk about this all the time because I'm addicted. I'm addicted to what can't say it, Easy E lyric. Oh, man, caught myself there. But your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. Introducing the Locked On Heat Daily Newsletter for one stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. You everydayers know this, man. But if you're just here, first of all, smash subscribe. Hit the bell. Ring my bell. Ring my bell. my bell. Ring-a-ling-a-ling. Ring the bell so you know you hit the bell so you get alerts when we have new shows coming your way. I don't know what I'm doing. Locked On Sports Miami. We're free here. And, of course, wherever you get your podcast, the audio version, so you don't have to look at this beautiful face, however you might decipher and determine that remark. But I'll tell you this. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeart, you name it. We will be there, and I heart you too, right? Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, so you know that the ultimate team and league coverage will be delivered right in your inbox every day. You sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. And start your day with the all-new free Locked On Heat newsletter on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease with the Heat Postcast right here. And you know everydayers, and you know where to go for the everyday news, right? You go to the Locked On Heat Podcast. But look, they might try to confuse you and do a post-game show and try to say that it's not. This is the post-game show on the Locked On Podcast Network. This is the post-game show, the postcast. You should be here right after every Heat game, and then wherever they are day in and day out, cool. But after the games, you know to be right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. And you should be watching both, honestly, every day, and you should be watching Locked On NBA as well, because we got some serious stuff coming your way. And right here on Locked On Sports Miami, of course, Marlins season coming up March 27th. Can't be another feeder season where we just trade all these players to teams that are contending. Football around the corner with the Dolphins and Canes, and we're starting, and I'm hosting a Locked On Dolphins roundtable show. That's going to be dope. That's coming your way soon right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. But the Bulls with the win tonight, 133-124. They shot almost 53% from the floor. And, I mean, just an incredible game all the way across the board for the shooters for the Bulls. I mean, you had some big dunks in the game, but it was really just the shooters that were getting it done tonight. Matas Buzelis, man. Buzelis, not Buzelis. Buzelis, career high, matched it. 24 points. Dude goes 10 for 10 from the floor. 10 for 10, mostly dunks and layups, right? Kobe White, 22 points, big buckets late. Miami's defense just wasn't there in the fourth quarter. The rotations were off. White had a wide open dunk right. He just curled right into the lane, took it right down the middle. No one even hit him along the way. No one was there to contest him at all. And just Spo was really pissed about that, obviously. Just this team is coming together. It's a work in progress. They're back to 500. Could have been 2 games over. They haven't been more than 3 games over 500 or 2 games under all season long. It's just been just treading water for your Miami Heat this season, you know. And Bam has 23 points for the Heat. Tyler has 23 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds. But I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, and let me know in the chat if you want to engage up in there. And by the way, at @JimGrease_ on social media, GRIES. Give me a follow, make you holla right up in there. But I don't believe Tyler Hero scored a point in the fourth quarter. Hey, now, you're an all-star. Let's go. I mean, come on, Tyler. Look, you're an all-star, bro. You were so happy. They're showing the reaction on TikTok. Oh, Tyler's an all-star. He makes it over Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he makes it over Trae Young. And a lot of the Olympic teams not on the All-Star team. How do you snub Devin Booker? Just became the Suns' all-time leading scorer, hitting clutch shot and making play after play for Team USA. He's not on the All-Star team. It is just a farce. It's ridiculous. No one cares about it anyway, so I don't know why I'm even giving it a second thought or a second word other than to say that, Tyler, hey, now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. Meaning, make some shots in the fourth quarters of games. This is what we're seeing. This is your all-star. Right here's your all-star. No points in the fourth quarter. That's your all-star. That's your all-star. You know what I'm saying? So, look, I'm going to be tough on him. He's an all-star. He made it over some bigger names and some big-time players in the league, and he's got to make some shots down the stretch. He's got to learn how to score more when he becomes the focal point of the other team's defense. The rotations are great. And by the way, Highsmith's got to go, man. This dude can't hit the broadside of a barn. His shooting is terrible. And I know, Burks and whatever, but they just don't have that shooting right now. I mean, Duncan has not been consistent. Robinson all year. Tyler's three-point shooting's been great, but you need some help there in that department. Bam occasionally will hit one. But, it just, I don't know. Chicago didn't even take the lead until very late in this game. Very, very late. And look, Khalil Ware had a good game as well for Miami. And, he just as easily could have made like 3. I mean, the Heat had like 3 air balls down the stretch from 3. Khalil shot one. Nikola shot one. But they couldn't stop Buzelis. 24 points. Josh Giddey, 24 points. Kobe White, 22. Dosunmu with 21 and 9 assists. And, of course, Zach LaVine went to Sacramento. They traded him, the two-time All-Star. Just unfortunate, but we're up against a break. When we come back on the other side, we're going to hit the box score, tell you who did what tonight for the Miami Heat, the Bulls too, and then we'll look at the team stats coming up later in the show. As always, we love it every night. You wait with bated breath, the anticipation. You can cut it with a knife for the stars of the game, for the turning point, and for your final score graphic. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries, GRIES, at Jim Gries _ on social media. Smash that subscribe, hit that bell, and come on in, say hi in the chat. 133-124, the Bulls beat the Heat tonight. This is Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team, good or bad, right? Whatever it is, you're here every day. Your team every day. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp, and you've heard me do these spots for BetterHelp before. What are some of your relationship green flags, right? Why not the green flags? We often hear about the red flags we should avoid, but what if we focused more on identifying the positive signs in our relationships, those green flags? Green flags better than red flags, right? Green means go. If you're not sure what they look like, therapy can help you identify them. Actively practice them and even embody that green flag energy yourself, which attracts more of it back to you. Whether you're dating, married, building a friendship, or just working on yourself, therapy can help you form relationships that love you back. And how important is that this day and age? Therapy helps you develop healthy boundaries, improves your communication skills. It empowers you to set clear expectations of yourself, of others, express your needs in relationships as well. It provides you tools, therapy does, for managing conflict in ways that strengthen your connections rather than break them down. And BetterHelp makes it easy by offering online therapy with over 30,000 licensed therapists to choose from. And if you need to switch therapists, you can do so at no extra cost. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp/HELP.com/LockedOnNBA. BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNBA on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every single day. All right, Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries. Therapy is so important. You're going to need therapy as a Heat fan. I'm just telling you. I mean, I shouldn't even be laughing, but it just is. They should have won this game tonight. You're playing a bad team on the road. They just traded their two-time All-Star. You got Lonzo Ball out there playing big minutes. I mean, nothing, just not to rip on Lonzo, but his career. You know what I mean? So it just is. And the Bulls, everybody wants Nikola Vucevic, but 12 points, 10 rebounds for him. Could be his final home game at the United Center. Talk of him going to the Lakers. They need a big man after the Luka Doncic trade with the Mavericks. And how about that one? Anthony Davis goes to Dallas. Duncan Robinson had a couple of three-pointers early tonight. He's been madly inconsistent for Miami, but it just, it's just 2:25 left. The Bulls take the 5-point lead. It's Kobe White just curls around and goes right down the lane. Nobody even gets in his way, tries to touch him, tries to hit him, tries to knock him down. If this were the 90s, he'd have been in the hospital. I know that we don't want that anymore, but, man, he should have been at least on the floor, right? And at least shooting 2 free throws instead of dunking, And then Buzelis going to play a lot more. He was really good tonight. Fantastic. Miami's headed to Philly. Tomorrow night they play the Sixers. Joel Embiid is back for Philly. Maxey got snubbed by the All-Stars as well. And look, he could have been on instead of Tyler Hero. He can score in the fourth quarter with defense keying on him. And look, I'm going to keep being hard on Tyler until he starts living up to being an All-Star. Hey, now, you're an All-Star. Get your game on. Go play, Tyler. Go play. All right. Hey, now, you're a rock star. Show on. Get paid. All right, let's look at the box score. We do this like we always do with This Time I Go For Mine. How about Kanye and his lady at the Grammys? Did you see her dress? Ooh, Bianca Sensory. Yeah. A lot of people, too, not happy. Cowboy Carter won the Grammy. Beyonce finally wins Best Album for a country album. I mean, the whole thing. Everyone thinks it's a joke anyway. But anyway, all right. Duncan Robinson, hot start. Had the 2 threes early. Nothing after that. 8 points for the Dunkmeister. Haywood Highsmith, I mean, his shooting's been atrocious. 5 points tonight. Bam, Adebayo, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists for Bam. Again, in the fourth quarter, he was the one keeping the Heat in the game after the Bulls took the lead. Kel'el Ware with a good game tonight, 8 of 12 from the floor, 1 of 2 for 3, 12 rebounds, and 17 points for the rookie, who continues to grow and improve for Miami. Tyler Hero, 3 of 11 from 3, 5 of 15 from the floor, scoreless, I believe, in the fourth quarter, 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. Again, fourth quarter, Tyler, paging, Dr. Hero, paging. Hello. Anyway, off the bench, how about Jovic again, 20 points, and another good game for Nikola. Burks with 9. And I believe that says 5 for Rozier. Another bad night for Terry, 2 of 12. What are we doing here, Terry? What are we doing? You're under investigation. It's just been a bad year for Rozier. Hero's got to step it up in the fourth quarter as an all-star, particularly when defenses are keying on. Rozier's got to do something, man. He had a couple games there, but a bad year for Terry Rozier. And it's unacceptable for a guy with his level of talent who the Heat have been counting on so much. It's like Kyle Lowry later in his Heat tenure. It's like, dude, I thought you were good. You know what I mean? And then Jaquez with 14. And seriously, Rozier needs to play a lot better. And I don't mind saying it. I'll be the guy who says it. Meanwhile, for the Bulls, they had 4 players score 24 points tonight. Buzelis, 10 of 10 from the floor, 4 of 4 from 3, 24 points in 31 minutes off the bench for Buzelis. But you had 12 and 10 for Vucevic, but you had Kobe White with 22, Dosunmu with 21 to go along with 9 assists, and then 24 for Giddey, who was Giddey playing this Heat defense as the Bulls shot 53% from the floor, and they made 19 threes, over 15 threes, and over 50% shooting, and the Heat don't win. They're 0-13 when allowing over 120 points, too, and, just doesn't add up for Miami. All right, let's take a look at the team stats right here, and the fourth quarter was just dreadful. They went over 4 minutes without a bucket. I'm repeating myself, but look, it's only half of me. Hey. Now you see me? Now you don't. All right, I'm just having fun with you guys here. Anyway, they shoot almost 53%, 52.7, 48 of 91 for the Bulls. Miami, 43 of 90, 47.8%. Not a terrible disparity there, but you can't be allowing 50% shooting to a team that's under 500, man. I don't care. It's ridiculous. 3-point shooting for Chicago, 46.3. Absurd. Miami, 38.6. 17 threes for Miami, 19 for Chicago. Again, not a terrible disparity. Miami, 21 of 26. Chicago, 18 of 22. From the charity stripe, free throw percentage, 80.8, 81.8. For Miami and the Bulls, respectively. Rebounds, 44 to 43. Miami actually wins the rebound battle tonight. Offensive rebounds, 11-7 Miami. So they win that as well. Assists, 35-29. The Bulls by 6 there. Steals, 4-4. Blocks, 3-3. Turnovers, 14 for the Heat, 10 for the Bulls. You start to see a little disparity there. And 19 points conceded off turnovers for the Heat. And that's not a good number. Fast break points, 13-6 for Chicago. Points in the paint, 58-46 for the Bulls. And the largest lead for Miami, 13. The largest lead for Chicago, 9, as Miami was favored by 3.5. The total was 228. Obviously came in easily. So if you had the over, or if you had the Bulls in the over, it's a good night for you. You know what I'm saying? It's a good night for you. But not a good fourth quarter for Miami. Look, they did everything really well until the fourth quarter. They ran out of gas. It's a road trip. The Jimmy Butler thing is weighed on them. Blah, blah, blah. Wah, wah, wah. Look, they're pros. They're the Miami Heat, too. They're not going to make excuses for themselves. They just ran out of gas, got outscored by 18 points in the fourth quarter, and lost the game by 9. It's that simple. Look, Miami played well in the first quarter. They scored 37 points. They had 3 30-point quarters in this game. It's so maddening to lose this damn game to a team under 500. You had literally 37 in the first, 33 in the second. You know what I mean? You got 70 points in the first damn half. 70 points, and you come out in the third quarter, you drop another 33 in a quarter that you haven't been great in this season. They look so outstanding through the first 3 quarters of this game. Tyler's hitting, Bam's hitting. You know what I mean? The Khalil Ware with a double-double. And then in the fourth quarter, they lay an egg. They only score 21. Just could not get the offense going. They jacked up deep threes early in the shot clock. You know what I mean? Nikola with an air ball from 3. Khalil Ware with an air ball from 3. Tyler couldn't hit anything, jacking up long shots. Duncan wasn't doing anything, helping them at all in the fourth. They just could not get anybody going offensively. And I'm sick of talking about Jimmy Butler. I'm sick of thinking about Jimmy Butler. I don't want to look at Jimmy Butler. Let him go to the Suns. Bunch of losers there anyway. Highest payroll, highest luxury tax in the NBA, and they suck. I said it. They suck. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and mostly Bradley Beal with his no-trade clause. He's one of only 2 players in the NBA with a no-trade clause, and it's Bradley Beal. and he has no role on that team. He was another product like Rozier. We should know 24 points a game in Charlotte. Well, his Washington numbers cut him in half, man. There was no fluidity there. There was no discipline there. It was just gun, gun, gun. Remember he and Wall? Whatever. I'm not trying to just crap on the guy. I'm saying it's very different. Let Jimmy Butler go to Phoenix and see what it's like. The Heat don't want Bradley Beal. You'd be taking one problem back for another. Maybe you trade Tyler with Jimmy. Maybe it's Tyler's turn to go. His stock has never been higher. He's an all-star. They've been trying to trade him for years. Maybe Jimmy and Tyler brings back a superstar that you want. That's a pretty good deal for a team to get Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero. Why not throw Tyler in there? Why not? Duncan Robinson could be in there, although I'd like to see them keep him as their shooter, but he's got to start shooting a lot better if that's the case. And I love that Jaquez is evolving and growing, and I love that Kel'el Ware is evolving and growing, and Nikola tonight had 20 points, and I love his development. One superstar. Imagine like a superstar 2 coming back for Jimmy and Tyler, or a superstar 3, a wing player is what it should be. He should be with Bam. And you trade Tyler and you trade Jimmy together. Maybe we should be looking at that, Miami. Maybe Pat Riley is looking at that. Maybe Luka for AD might not be the only blockbuster we see in the NBA this year. You're watching Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, Gries, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Give me a follow, make you holla. Smash that subscribe, hit the bell. Please, if you don't mind, we love doing this for you. We appreciate you. The best part about this show is you everydayers, you newbies, all of you. You know what I'm saying? And we are very happy to come to you after every single game with your Heat Postcast. Jim Grieshaber, Call Me Grease, still to come. You know what it is. The stars of the game, the turning point, and your final score graphic, plus a look ahead. What am I, a proctologist? Cough 3 times. A look ahead. Do you really want to look ahead? Yeah, look ahead. Sixers coming up tomorrow night. It's Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Super Bowl 59 is here, and I know Dolphin fans, you don't even know what the Super Bowl is anymore, and I'm sorry, right? It is what it is. Super Bowl 59 is here. One game, 2 teams, endless possibilities, and there's no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. Whether it's predicting the first touchdown, calling the MVP, or even betting on the coin toss, you need help. Your FanDuel makes it easy to get in on the action with live betting all game long. Seriously, if you're betting the coin toss, give your boy a holler. I'll help you out with that. With live betting all game long, you can adjust your bets, although you do have a 50% shot as the game unfolds, and feel the thrill from kickoff to the final whistle. The live betting feature lets you stay involved no matter what happens on the field, and the app is super easy to navigate, as you know. Plus, knowing that you can place a $5 bet and potentially win $200 in bonus bets for the Super Bowl, icing on the cake, me boys and girls. Download the app or head to FanDuel.com to get started. Bet just $5, and if you win, you'll score $200 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com. Come on. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around through the break. Appreciate you. Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. 133-124, the Heat lose tonight on the road at Chicago. Look, they hung 70 on the Bulls in the first half, 37 in the first, 33 in the second, shooting the lights out. Tyler's killing it. Dunkmeister came out and hit threes early. Everything's looking good. Kel'el Ware killing it. And then, and Nikola, obviously with a big game. And then comes the fourth quarter. They scored 70 in the first half. They come out and they hang 33 more in the third. And you're like, damn, you got 103 points in 3 quarters. You got 103 points in 3 quarters. Now, the defense wasn't great. You know what I mean? It was 94. It was 103 to 94 at the end of 3. I mean, that's a final score in most years in the NBA, but this year, quite great, right? But the Heat completely shut down in the fourth, couldn't hit anything. They went 4 minutes plus without a field goal. They're jacking up air balls from 3. Tyler's coming off curls, throwing stuff like Steph in the Olympics did, except he's not Steph, you know? And so, I mean, nobody else is Steph. It just, you know what I mean? I'm not ripping on Tyler, but it is what it is, man. Life's not fair. Friends should have known not to front around here. So 133, 124, they go to Philly tomorrow night to take on Joel Embiid, Maxey, Paul George. I don't know if Paul George is playing anyway. Any of these guys that just never play. It's a comical thing in the association, is it not? When guys just never play. and they're making tens of millions of dollars, and then they hold their franchises hostage. It really is a shame when you think about these things and you see these things happening. It shouldn't be that way. Man, I wonder if Tyler should be one of our stars of the game tonight. Tyler Hero, anything but a hero tonight. But Bam Adebayo played pretty well tonight, had the 23-point game. But literally the Bulls with an incredible performance tonight. And that was the difference in the game. The fourth quarter for Chicago, right? I mean, and they hung in throughout. They had 94 points through 3. But the fourth quarter for the Bulls was absolutely fantastic. Why are there like 4 picture highlights of Terry Rozier in this thing tonight? It is absolutely absurd. I don't understand why you'd ever have highlights of Terry Rozier, especially now. Not doing anything. At all for Miami. And, he had a couple of games there. But dang, it just was not in the cards for him tonight. And it's just a shame because he was terrible. Terry Rozier was terrible tonight, as usual, for Miami. He's been bad all year. I just haven't seen him, do anything worthwhile. I just haven't. It's been a tough year for Terry Rozier. You know what I mean? Just a really bad year. And something that, I don't know, they need a lot more from him. And with Jimmy Butler out and with them needing more scoring and them needing people to step up, that's when a guy like Rozier, you really should be able to count on him right now. He's a guy who should be stepping up and being able to get you 20 every third game and getting you between 14 and 18 night after night, at least as a guy who was scoring 24 a game coming from Charlotte. Come on, Terry. You should be scoring 15 plus for this team. You really should be, man. And I know it just sounds bad the way I'm talking here, and I get that. And I am, in a way, and I am trashing him because he should be playing better. He's a big-time player throughout his career. He's a solid vet. He was scoring a ton in Charlotte. And look, I know the same thing that applied to Bradley Beal in Washington. Bad team, gun all you want. Jello Ball. Is it LaMelo or I can't even LiAngelo? I'm trying to remember which one's which. It's hard, But 27 points a game. He's like the 5th leading scorer in the league, but he has no discipline. He's a gun. You know what I mean? And it's not the same. The stats hit huge, and you love it. The fans love him, but it's not winning basketball. It's not efficient basketball. At times, it's trash basketball. And I don't think, but Tyler made the All-Star team over him too. So Tyler's got to make plays in the fourth quarter. But Rozier coming from Charlotte and being in a place where his 24 at Charlotte is like 17, 18 anywhere else, but he should be scoring those points here. Why is he not scoring those points here is what I really would like to know. And I demand an answer. I do. I demand an answer and an investigation. There's Bam. Finally, it has happened for me. And, oh, man, Tyler had a lot of hands in his face tonight, but he had a good couple of quarters early on, and it was just late in the game, he just couldn't get it going. He just couldn't get it going for Miami, and it's just he has become the focal point of opposing defenses, man. That's what it is with Tyler. He has become the focal point of opposing defenses, and since he's become the focal point of opposing defenses with no Jimmy Butler out there, he's finding it very difficult. Now, his scoring average hasn't dipped much. He still had 23 tonight. He's averaging 23.9, maybe 23.8 now. But, dude, that's still getting it done. And look, they scored 103 points in the first 3 quarters. He was a big key in that. But you cannot shut down in the fourth quarter when really, look, there's no secret. It's the NBA. The defensive intensity just literally picks up. You know what I mean? In the fourth quarter. That's when teams start playing you. That's when they start playing defense. It is in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? The first 3 quarters, and say what you want about it. It is what it is. That's when the teams start to really ramp up the defense. They really start to ramp up the defense in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? And that's just obviously something that you do. And because of that, it becomes harder to score in the fourth. It becomes harder to score in the fourth. And Tyler finds that out night in and night out. But really, it's just so hard because he's getting his numbers. He's getting his points, and they pay on numbers. And he's in the All-Star game on his numbers, right? But his numbers, in my mind, are very deceiving. His numbers are deceiving. And the reason his numbers are deceiving is because a lot of those numbers are being picked up in the first 3 quarters when the D's just not there. And in the fourth quarter, and I promise I'll do this for the next show, in the fourth quarter, we got to look at those fourth quarter numbers. We got to really look closely at Tyler Hero's fourth quarter numbers. And I actually might want to pull those up right now. And it might be worth you hanging with me while I search this up. Tyler Hero fourth quarter numbers this season. And we'll see where they're at. They got to be here somewhere. Yeah, so nope, those are just his numbers, regular numbers, career stats. Tyler Hero, fourth quarter stats, 5.9 points, 1.3. It's okay, so he's averaging what he averages in the first three quarters in the fourth, because if he's averaging a little over 24, or a little under 24, 5.9. All right, I stand corrected. He's averaging right on his average in the fourth. But, like tonight it wasn't on, and a couple nights ago, same thing. And these are things that Tyler definitely needs to improve. And in the fourth quarter, when they need him, he's got to have some 10-point fourth quarters, some 12-point fourth quarters, and win them some dang games. And I would love to see that happen for Tyler and for the Heat. And again, I really like Tyler Hero a lot, but I'm not saying, look, if he can help in a trade with Jimmy or a separate trade, maybe they make two trades and blow the whole thing up around Bam, and then you got the young guys like Nikola and Jaquez, and you know what I mean? You hold on to those guys. Khalil Ware, you got a real nice young group here, a really nice young group. So what I'm thinking, it's all love when I go out drinking, making my mind slow. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why Luka got traded. Luka with his drinking and his hookah. Luka likes hookah. You trade a generational talent because, oh my God, the Mavericks are insane in the membrane. We already did that, didn't we? You see how we brought it full circle? I'm proud of myself. I love that. Cypress Hill. All right, where are we at here? So, all right, so we are about at that time where we're going to give you what you came here for. This is what you came for. Lightning starts every time she moves. Everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you. You're going to love it. The stars of the game tonight, of course, coming your way. The turning point and the final score graphic. Now, we have a battle every night with StreamYard trying to get these things to upload. It's a fight. Let's see if we get it right. Okay, here we go. First things first, Grease. Upload the final score. Come on, baby. Oh, we won for one, StreamYard. We won for one, baby. You got the right one, baby. Check this out. All right, boom. There's your final score graphic. 133-124, the Chicago Bulls with the victory tonight. And, of course, the moment, of course, I got a little too carried away. That one, false start, StreamYard, 5-yard penalty, repeat, upload. Oh, we got it. We're 2 for 3, and we got 5 things to upload. So we're 2 for 3. Nice job, StreamYard. We're going to keep the score up there for you. Right now, 133-124. The Chicago Bulls with the victory over your Miami Heat. And, we're 2 for 4. That one failed. False start. StreamYard, 5-yard penalty. All right, there we go. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. We've turned this into a sport on the show here. And look at that final score, 133-124. Again, Miami with 70 points at halftime, 37 points in the first quarter, 33 in the second, 33 in the third. They had 103 points through 3 quarters. The problem was their defense did not show up tonight with their offense, and the Bulls had 94 points through 3. So it's 104-93 to start the fourth quarter, and your Miami Heat go ice cold in the fourth quarter. And, they score only 21 points. They're minus 18 in the fourth, and that's the ball game. That, as they say, is the come on StreamYard. Here we're running into a brick wall here. Come on, false start, StreamYard, 5-yard penalty. Come on. We're doing the players of the game. You're not doing it. StreamYard's not helping me out here at all whatsoever. Come on, baby. Come on. Oh, just not helping me out here. We got the moment up. We got one of the stars. We need 2 more stars to upload here for you. Come on, baby. A little gentle there with the double click. Oh, we got it to stick. Gentle with the double click, and we got it to stick. And while we do that, we will give you the turning point because it's 133-124. And we told you the Heat had 103 points the first 3 quarters. So what happened? There is what happened. Outscored by 18 points in the fourth quarter. That's Lonzo Ball's #1 highlight in 100 years? I don't, I'm not trying to crap on the Ball brothers. Their father's a dope. But I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Come on, baby. One more time, StreamYard. Nope. False start, StreamYard, 5-yard penalty. We got the Super Bowl. That's why we have the football reference here. Come on. One more. One more. Uno más, por favor. Come on, StreamYard. Nope. Come on. One more time. We're going to give it one more try because we need this one to upload for us. Or Tyler Hero gets left off the stars of the game. Oh, but coming through on the last try, baby. We did it. So there's your turning point. Outscored by 18 points in the fourth quarter after playing such beautiful offense for 3 quarters. They were fantastic. Once again, there's your final score. 133 to 124. We gave you the turning point, the moment. These are the moments. Outscored by 18, minus 18 in the fourth quarter. The stars of the game. We got 3 of them like it's hockey, baby. Number 1. Dun, 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 dun. Matas Buzelis, 10 for 10. Are you kidding me? 24 points, matches his career high. The Heat with the Matador defense. Look at this dude. That dude, 10 for 10. Who's he? Christian Laettner? Remember when Laettner was 10 for 10 from the field, 10 for 10 from the line, 1 3-pointer, 31 points against Kentucky in a perfect game, and he stepped on someone's chest on top of it. One of the best college basketball games of all time. That's the last time I remember someone going for 10 for 10. But in the NBA, 10 for 10, inexcusable. Inexcusable. Heads need to roll. Heads need to roll. Next star of the game. Bam Adebayo, 23 points. A lot of them in the second half was hitting big shots to keep Miami ahead for a while and then to keep them, moving in the game. Had a big dunk on a lob that broke a 4-minute plus streak without a field goal for Miami in the fourth quarter. And then the next one. Yeah, look at that defense on Tyler. That's why he didn't score in the fourth quarter. Look at that. I mean, they got to figure this out, man. They got to figure this out. Khalil Ware, 17 and 12, could have been one of the stars of the game. Can't crap on Tyler, though. He was at his average, just couldn't do it in the fourth. And one more time for your mind with the final score, 133 to 124. The Heat back at 500. They play at Philadelphia tomorrow night. Joel Embiid's there. Maxi's been playing well. Not sure about Paul George. Let me take a look right now at the Sixers. What's it going to hurt to give you one more look here as we take a peek at the Philadelphia 76ers? They played the last played against the Celtics on the 2nd. And let's see what's going on with this dude right here. Yeah, George hasn't played. Embiid just came back. Maxi's been killing it. Had a 34-point game the other night. But it is interesting when you think about Philly, man. That team's good. That team is good. They're going to be there at the end of the season. They're going to be there at the end of the season. What is going on? Let me see. One more thing before we get you out of here. I just want to check on Paul George's status, and we will be on out. The Warriors looking to trade for him. Let me see. When is Paul George coming back? I don't know. Yeah, check out Locked On Heat tomorrow for that, or we'll be here tomorrow night with the postcast, and it'll be a fun one. As always, remember, day-to-day Locked On Heat. After the game's the only place to be, right here. Heat Postcast with me, Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries. Do not confuse the two. Heat Postcast right after the games. Period, point blank. No matter what you see anywhere, it's here for the postcast, there for the day-to-day with the podcast. And by the way, the newsletter, which is phenomenal, Locked On Heat newsletter at lockedondaily.com. All the team and league news. We're free here, by the way, and that's free. The newsletter's free. We're free here on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast as well. And remember, after the game's the only place to be, right here. Day-to-day, it's the Heat Podcast and everything else Miami sports right here. Locked On Sports Miami. Until next time, Heat fan, thank you so much for being here. Attitude of gratitude will get you everywhere. 133, 124. Chicago beats the Heat. Fourth quarter, minus 18 for Miami. Just didn't have enough to get it done down the stretch. We'll talk to you tomorrow night after the game in Philly. Until then, Heat fan, keep your game tight and your mind right. Peace.